And if anyone can bring me a bottle of water, it would be dynamite. Thank you.
Yeah, hi Zach. I've got a question because do we, the fan, have to wait 10 another years for the next one?
You don't have to wait 10 years, no sir. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but come hell or high water, I will definitely make more movies. I will keep doing whatever I can to keep bringing stories, especially if there's a response like this. Are you kidding me? Maybe I'll just make them in Paris. Like Woody. I think Woody said, fuck it, I'll just make them all in Europe. Yes, and the gentleman behind you.
So this guy basically asked what I wanted you to ask, so I will ask something else.
Okay.
Are you not scared about Hooch coming after you because he's not in the movie?
Yeah. Good question. I put Hooch in the movie. And merci beaucoup. I put Hooch in the movie and then I cut him out. So I'm fucking dead. He is crazy. He's a very, very funny actor, as you know. He actually directs a lot of TV. And he's been so good to me. Fine, I'll have a... This is like a dickish Hollywood actor, have someone open my fucking water. I was double fisting. No, that's an expression, not fisting. French are so dirty. Hooch was in the movie. I shot a big Jesse's pool party scene, and Hooch was in that scene. He played Jesse's stepfather. Yeah. Again, an example of going a little too broad. I mean, you can have moments of broad. You can have a rabbi on a Segway go into a wall. But you gotta just dip your toe and bring it back. Jesse's pool party, the version I shot, was really, really broad. I mean, what I was trying to do is some social commentary on the polar opposite of her conservative school. So it was like an LA pool party, girls twerking, Hooch is her stepfather lighting pyrotechnics. It's fucking hilarious, but it's for the DVD. It was the wrong tone for the movie. Yes, in the white against the wall. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Thanks. It's not really a question, it's more a statement. Hi, Robin. Everybody speaks English, so sorry.
Well, he did scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
We'll find something else for him.
He said something like 26-day scavenger hunt, right? And he said scavenger hunt for the marriage too. So the same thing. Okay.
Oh yeah, same thing. Yeah, yeah, we used scavenger hunt twice. Robin's trying to get credit. Like, well, technically I have twice in the same term. We'll find it. Someone ask a question that involves a hard word that I need Robin for, okay? And not scavenger hunt.
Yeah, that was a great input, yeah. More of a statement, actually. Just want to say that you're a great director, you're a great actor, and obviously I wouldn't be there and I would have backed you. And you're the only guy I know who actually can direct a movie who can kill his family every time.
Yeah.
And every time you actually, maybe you're French and dirty and stuff, but we have feelings, right?
So you're sad that I keep killing my parents?
Yeah, what's up?
I think it genuinely comes from fear of losing them. I mean,
yeah, sure.
You know, I'm very close with them both. My father has some things overlapped with this father, but not the entertainment anger about the end. He's my biggest champion, so it wasn't that aspect of. But when my brother and I wrote this, there are things, our parents that are here. Yes, my mom is a psychologist, so she's very curious to know why I've killed her twice. And the serious answer I've come up with, because I've been asked this a lot, is that, you know, my parents got divorced when I was 8, and I went into joint custody, so I would go a week with one and a week with the other. And my dad had been just a dad. He was not in charge of. He was a lawyer. He worked his ass off, but he didn't know how to be a dad. And so I think some of this came from that. It came from the weeks I was with him. I felt abandoned a bit by my mom, because here I was with a guy who didn't know how to be a dad and didn't know have the real parenting tools. and then B felt like I was watching like a newborn calf try and stand up as he tried to figure out how to be a dad without her. So I think that's probably where, if I look at my own psychology, where it comes from in both movies. I have a really strong relationship with my mom, whereas fathers and sons is something I work on, is something I battle, and that's why it's interesting to me.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to say, I mean, Vanilla Bear, every time you kiss someone in a movie, I always get out and still I'm happy, so thank you.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for calling me Vanilla Bear. Yes, right here.
Where did you have the idea to add Jim Parsons?
Where did I come with that? Well, I gave Jim Parsons his big break, I'd like to say, playing the knight in Garden State.
Balls on your face.
It says balls on your face. His other good line was, no, Peter Stormare said, he's just a fast food knight, which is a line I really liked. I mean, Jim's so talented, he was gonna become a big star with or without me, but I think Garden State definitely gave him a boost because he was so funny and he got a lot of attention off of it. And I watched an episode of Big Bang on the plane ride over here. He's just a very, very nice guy, and I love the director. I love directors who keep using the same people. I mean, you know, obviously your movie star is gonna switch because of schedule or casting. So you know, whether it's Natalie or Kate or Mandy, some of the big leads will change depending on what the leading role is. You know, Natalie's too young to play a mother of a 13-year-old girl, for example. But when the supporting parts in what we call day players, we often call them day players because they come to work for a day and do a scene or two. I love using the same troupe, the same group of people. I love filmmakers who do that. It's always something I really like a lot, so I try to do that myself. Yes, right here.
Firstly, thank you. I'm very proud of the co-maker.
Thank you.
I think I like you.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, you spoke about the director you like, and I want to know what or who is your inspiration to shoot, to direct, because you have a specific way to shoot and to mix drama and comedy, humorism,
Yeah.
between Garden State and Réalisé. And I want to know, who inspires?
I would say that exactly who inspired me. I would say a lot. I would say that, you know, with the direct mix of comedy and drama, it would be Hal Ashby and Woody Allen would probably be my favorites, because both of those, you know, one of my favorite movies is Harold and Maude, and it just so it was funny and surreal, but fucking heartbreaking. And Annie Hall's the same way. I mean, and the other thing is I like filmmakers who throw the rules out the window. I mean, the other thing, the reason you have that Kickstarter movie like this is I throw a lot of the rules out the window. Same thing with Garden State, you know. There's so many rules to making a screenplay. It has to be a drama, it has to be a comedy. Annie Hall threw every rule there was out. All of a sudden, it was very funny, it would be very surreal. All of a sudden, it's a cartoon. All of a sudden, then you're dealing with like real heartbreak. And it was technically a romantic comedy, but I think it's the best piece of art on lost love I've ever seen. Another one was your country's genius film that this company released last year, Blue is the Warmest Color. I thought was just, I mean, not that it was a comedy, I'm saying an example of an amazing piece of art on lost love. And Hal Ashby, same thing. And I also like the surreal. I like, you know, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. I love Terry Gilliam. I like whimsy and surreal, that kind of stuff too. Kubrick, obviously. Yes, right here.
You wrote
Ladies first.
You wrote the movie with your brother.
Yeah.
What was your exact process writing? Like, you go back and forth, or?
She asked what the process was with writing the film with my brother. So yeah, what we do is we got together. We live in different states, so we got together for about a month and figured out the exact structure. We knew I started with the idea that it would be about a dad who's not an academic and a bit of a stoner, narcissist, trying to teach his kids. That was sort of the jumping off point. And then he has 2 young children. He is a stay-at-home dad. His wife has a job she doesn't like. So we just kind of combined aspects of a lot of our lives. And then once we had a really pretty long outline, we then went back to our respective homes and and we would kind of, a lot of it was online. We'd say, okay, here's my first pass of scene 10, let me know what you think, and then I'd write notes on it and give thoughts, and I'd say, here's my first pass of scene 24, and so we were kind of both working off the same outline. And then little by little, over time, it began to take shape. It was actually great being accountable to someone, because I could procrastinate so easily, so having appointments to write was very helpful. It was also important to say, look, because I'm directing, it's going to be 51 to 49, not 50-50, because otherwise you just get stuck. You have to, I do believe if any of you are writers or co-writing with someone, you do need to have one person who's going to win when you get stuck, because otherwise you'll be stuck forever, like the American Congress. I love that you guys are wearing matching color shirts. I really need to know the story behind it. So get them a mic. But I said you next, so yeah, you go.
It's a question also about your references, maybe more about your, not your favorite movie, but the movie that made you want to be a director. I'm saying that because 10 years ago I suddenly knew I wanted to be a director, and thanks to God and say, and I'm like,
wow, thank you.
Now directing my first feature movie.
Oh, congratulations! That's awesome. If you didn't hear me, said he's directing his first feature, and Garden State was what made him want to be a director. Thank you.
Yeah, directing with not much money, with crowdfunding too, and I just wanted to know if maybe you had this kind of experience, a movie that.
I don't know if it's. I can tell you that. Do you know that movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy? Yeah. Okay. You can find it on the internet. Before there were independent movies, as they were, and art films and all that stuff. I grew up in Jersey, which is I grew up a half hour outside of Manhattan. And before any movies that were art movies or indie movies came to Jersey, we would go into Manhattan. My father would take us into Manhattan and see movies, and it's just like today, like this compared to Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, it's the same thing, except that now that these can make it a little bit further out of the cities. But my father said there's this movie, I think it was South African, right? And he said everyone's talking about it. And so it was my first experience going to see a movie that wasn't going to come to our state, and thinking it was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen in my life. If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. I'm sure it still holds up. In the middle of Africa, a tribe that has no contact with civilization, a pilot out of a plane drops his Coke bottle. And the Coke bottle falls into the middle of this tribe that has never seen anything like a Coke bottle and thinks it's from the gods. And this entire civilization crumbles because of this Coke bottle. But it's a comedy and it's hilarious. And so that's what came to my mind when you asked. I mean, obviously, my father was so in love with Woody, so a lot of the Woody movies, but that's the earliest memory I have of being like, wow, there's something cool about this kind of movie making as opposed to the ones that come to my multiplex. All right, guys, stand up. And what's going on with these shirts?
Thank you, Zach, for this movie. This was awesome. And sorry for my bad English.
Your English is perfect so far. But if you want to say scavenger hunt, we have someone who.
So I have a short and very personal question.
Yes.
What is the size of your clothes? Medium?
Medium. Yeah.
Medium? Okay.
I better be getting a pink shirt.
So we have a present for you.
Thank you very much. It says, oh my god, you guys are fucking adorable. It is it's a white guy eagling a black guy. And on the back it says eagle, vanilla bear, and chocolate bear. That's very cool, thank you. I will share this with my brown best friend. What's that? I have to put it on? Okay, I'll put it on. All right, thank you. Next question. Yes, right here. Well, sorry. Yes, right here.
I'm a big fan of Scrubs and Garden States, and I wanted to know how much the music is important for your movies.
Oh, the music is very important. Hold on, I'm gonna put this shirt on, okay? I'm gonna turn around so it doesn't seem like a shirt. Nobody look.
No.
I've never twerked for any audience before. In the paper it'll say, Zach Braff, who showed up wearing a hot pink shirt to his Kickstarter Q&A. Thank you guys. I'm gonna wear this with pride every time I ride Donald. I'm gonna say, hold on, let me go get the shirt. Yes, go on, the music. Yes, the music's important. The music's important, yeah, I mean, I love music, and music is a part of it. Yeah, it's a part of, it's just a part of the way I want to tell a story. I guess maybe it's because I grew up going to musicals and loving musicals and doing a musical right now, and musicals were about the perfectly placed song. And then with this one, because in 10 years, remember, people used to buy CDs, but they don't buy CDs anymore, so they don't even buy full albums anymore. So with this one, we tried to do some unique things by having, Coldplay wrote a song, like Cat Power sings, and the Shins wrote a song, and Bon Iver wrote a song. We tried to do things that would be original to the film. The Weepy song is an unreleased song. The song, there's a song that Ali Moss covers, Waited Out, that was an Imogen Heap song that she wrote. So I just tried to do different things to inspire people to actually get the album, because nowadays people just buy a track. And we put it out on vinyl, and we tried to just do some things, because as vinyl has come back, just as the record store has disappeared, as you all know. So, but yeah, music's very important to me, and to telling the story. Yes?
I was wondering why, in the scene where your dad is on his deathbed.
Yeah.
So when your dad is on his deathbed and you brought him the ice cream,
Yeah.
why don't you let him taste it?
Yeah.
By the way, I want you to know, I get asked this at every Q&A, why did Dad eat the ice cream? And I say, because he died. But it's a bigger statement than that, actually. It's that in a studio movie, everything has to be so clean. Everything has to be set up and paid off. So if you set up ice cream as what he wants, he eats it. If you set up, you couldn't possibly have them arrive at that rich guy's house at the end without having set up that they were on vacation earlier in the movie. I actually shot a scene where they had finished their own pool and the swimming happened at their own pool, but it was also clean. It's like, that's not life. Life is so fucking messy. And yeah, he races to get the ice cream there, but he doesn't get there in time. He's too sick to want to taste the ice cream. So I tried to do things that you can only do when your fans crowdfund your movie, and make choices that felt more based on reality than in the clean world of movies where everything works out. He doesn't get the big job as an actor. He doesn't get to punch the dickhead out. The dickhead punches him out. All these things that you can't see in a movie, because the studio would never let you do that kind of stuff. Yes.
Hi. Just a quick question. We mentioned the music a moment ago. And there are some great songs in Wish I Was Here. But tell me if I'm wrong, there's also a film music composer involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rob Simonson, who created that melody, there's a couple of repetitive melodies.
So my question was just, well, why not choosing a film music composer to score the entire movie? Is it because you listen to a lot of music while writing the script, or?
No, I just think it's kind of my style, using music. I mean, it's become very pervasive, as you all know, in movies. And I mean, not that I invented it, but by any stretch of the imagination, I was going off of, people, building off people I loved who did it. But I don't know what, and you watch American television, in the last 10 years, every episode of every TV show has indie music in it now. In fact, when we started doing that on Scrubs, it was kind of new. And then now we have the problem we didn't have 10 years ago, was you'd find a song and you'd love a song, and then you'd look on Wikipedia and it had been in 10 TV shows. And most of the time it was Grey's Anatomy. You're like, fucking Grey's Anatomy. Fucking Grey's Anatomy used every good song in the world. I guess I had the same taste as their music supervisor, but I didn't want to use anything that had been used before. So the answer is just kind of what I like and my style. But score is really important too, because I love a beautiful theme, a little beautiful melody that will return. It's sort of like the family's theme. And so there's a couple melodies that Rob wrote that repeat throughout the film. And sometimes you don't have the time to go into a huge song. You just want like a little moment, and that's where score is really great. It's like a little delicate moment as opposed to like, here we go with the song. We have time for a couple more? 5 more minutes. Okay, yes ma'am, right here.
Cool, thank you. First of all, can I do something kind of weird? Because I have a friend who is supposed to be here today, but she's on holiday, so she sent me a text for me to read.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, read it.
And it's kind of cool because she's my brown bear, so.
Okay.
So she's saying, she's a big fan of Zach Levi, so she's saying, hey Zach, I love you, not as much as I love Zach Levi, but he high-fived me, so that's setting the bar really high. I'm sorry, that's not me. I wish I could be here with you, get it, but I'm stuck in sunny and happy Thousand Friends. I'm still hoping to see the movie someday, I can't wait.
Oh, thank you.
So I'll say
Will you tell her I said merci beaucoup?
I will also be super happy.
Thank you very much.
Actually, I'm kind of pissed at you because you killed Inigo Montoya.
I did kill Inigo Montoya. Sorry.
You have to apologize.
I tried to get him to, I asked him to say that on a viral video, and he wouldn't. He does say it to kids though.
Really?
He won't say it, but he'll whisper it in kids' ears. It's very cute. Because it's like his catchphrase, and you can imagine how many fucking times a day someone wants him to say that. So he says, no, and then I watched him go whisper it in a little boy's ear. It was very cute.
So yeah, basically, thank you for making us so part of your movie, because
Thank
it's
you.
really, really great.
Thank you for your support.
I think we all loved it. So
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Yes, right here.
Hi.
Hi.
First of all, thank you for everything you've done for the past 15 years.
Thank you.
I literally just lost my dad from cancer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I should have warned you before you came.
I didn't read the script, so I didn't know what I was getting into. But it's okay.
Someone told me that at the LA premiere they said, "Oh, Steve Jobs' wife is coming," and I was like, "Did you tell her what the movie's about?" Because I was so terrified for people who was just happening. It's so raw, but I'm glad that it was powerful for you. I'm sorry.
And I loved how you portrayed religion in your movie. I'm sorry nobody talked about it. I don't know if it's taboo or anything. Maybe okay. But when you lost somebody as your dad, it's really, there's something happening that you can't explain to anybody. And I feel like you've managed to put it through the movie, because even if you're not religious, it became something you think about, even if you don't believe in God or whatever. And I was wondering how it was important to you to portray this religious side.
I just feel like no one talks about religion, and plenty of people talk about religion. No one talks about secular people and what they believe. You know, I felt like a lot of people in my life, you know, they grew up Jewish, they grew up Christian, whatever, and they had this belief system presented to them, and they, whatever the religion was, insert whatever organized religion it is, they had fond memories of childhood, and they liked the holidays, and they liked sitting on the Christmas tree or lighting menorah candles or whatever, and the inside jokes and the humor. In the case of Judaism, in my experience, there was a whole little sense of humor that came along with it and all that. But when it came time to ask the big questions, what are we doing on this spinning rock in the middle of infinity? How did we get here? Who created us? That wasn't providing answers for me, and so I felt like there were a lot of people in my life who were like that. They liked aspects of the religion, but there was no sort of freedom. I think the internet, in my humble opinion, brought people out of the closet, for lack of a better term, to be able to say like, hey, I don't really believe that. And we go out of our way in the film to say, if you have faith, you know, we're not proselytizing, like whatever works for you is what we believe. But for my brother and I, we wanted to write about people like us who were searching for some sort of spirituality that could coexist with their belief in our belief in science and evolution. You know, in the United States, I saw a list of 50 developed countries, and the United States was second to last in countries that believe in evolution. I don't remember. It was probably one of you fancy European countries. But I mean, that's terrifying to me, and so we wanted to write about, like, what about us? What's our spiritual? For those of us who are in that group of people who do believe in evolution and science, and don't, what kind of spirituality can we find being here on this crazy thing? I got to wrap it up. I want to say, from the bottom of my heart, I'm really going to get serious for a second. I would not be here, this film would not be here without you. This film will go on around the country. It's going to start opening now across Earth. And because of whatever part you played, you will move people like you did. You, because of what you did, will make someone laugh somewhere that you'll never meet, make someone cry or think about their dad, someone that you've never met. And that's pretty amazing that us and 47,000 other people did that together. So please tell your friends. This little movie will only survive without word of mouth. So please, social media, tell everyone you've ever met. Thank you, thank you, thank you.